More Republican congressmen have been arrested for sex crimes in public bathrooms than trans people. You may have heard this before, but let's delve into the specifics. In 1981, Mississippi Congressman John Hinson was arrested in the Library of Congress for performing oral sex on another man in a public bathroom. In 2007, Senator Larry Craig from Idaho was arrested in an airport bathroom for trying to have sex with a prostitute in there. Also in 2007, Florida Representative Bob Allen was arrested in a public park bathroom for attempting to have sex with a male prostitute there. This means that in total, 3 Republican congressmen have committed sex crimes in a public bathroom. But all researchers agree there have been 0 crimes committed by trans people in public restrooms.
Here's your ostinato. Terrorist, terrorist, purple for parent star. Terrorist, terrorist, purple for parent star. While some had good intentions, they all were misinformed. Now threatening violence, doxing teachers has become the norm. They come to school board meetings with lots of things to say, and they will bully, cuss, or scream if they don't get their way.
Yes, he really did say that. Getting hungry?
On our way to Halloween Horror Night, yeah! We're here, yeah!
I love when Republicans decide that some random fictional thing is communist, because all the centrists and the Democrats will be like, oh, that's so silly, y'all are so stupid. But then all the communists are like,
welcome to the revolution, Comrade Bird.
Y'all be like, I hate rap music, it's so misogynistic and degrading. And then turn on something equally as misogynistic and degrading, just sung in cursive with acoustic guitar in the background.
He's definitely the hottest new millennial. Oh my gosh. That was the shirt that He is the hottest new millennial. He's turning me into a socialist by the minute.
So maybe we should just park here.
What's in there? What the hell is this? What?
Hey. Did you guys ever get that thing you were looking for? That? No, we didn't. We decided to go with a new company. Is that them over there in the grass? Yeah, that's them in the grass. They're a little goofy sometimes, but we're just waiting to see how it's gonna work out. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I can, and I have a public service announcement. Despite what many people might think, I, a certified and ordained fat, have a head on top of my body. In fact, all fat people have heads. But based on every nightly news segment and article that has ever been published about the obesity epidemic, of course we are to assume that the vast majority of fat people are a bunch of chubby Ichabod cranes. I myself started to wonder whether most fat people have heads. Maybe they're losing weight, and head weight is just the first to go. I mean, seriously, it is so dehumanizing that in every piece of news about fat people, they never have heads. So you know what? This is my official application to be America's spokesfat, as long as they show that I have a head.
With the MBs, with the MBs, with the MBs. Nobody at school understands non-binary, and therefore everybody uses every pronoun, including it. With the NBs, with the NBs, with the NBs. Whenever I date anybody, the person I'm dating always gets asked if they're gay or not, and it's kind of violating. With the NBs, with the NBs, with the NBs. Whenever we get told to sit in lines of boy and girl, I always sit in the middle and everybody gets really pissed for no reason. With the NBs, with the NBs, with the NBs. Popular kids think they have a right to know what's between my legs. With the NBs, with the NBs, with the NBs. Whenever I tell anybody or try to explain my gender to them, they're like, that's not real, or I identify as an attack helicopter, and it's really fucking boring at this point. With the NBs, with the NBs, with the NBs. People just think that I'm a girl who changed their name to Toby, and it's kind of shit, I'm not gonna lie. With the NBs, with the NBs, with the NBs.
Spotify lost $4 billion in market value this week after rock icon Neil Young called out the company for allowing comedian Joe Rogan to use its service to spread misinformation about the COVID vaccine on his popular podcast. As of January 28th, shares of Spotify were down about 12% from where they closed last week. In a letter, Young said, Spotify has recently become a very damaging force via its public misinformation and lies about COVID. Most of the listeners hearing the unfactual, misleading, and false COVID information on Spotify are young people. A group of doctors and scientists have circulated a petition online calling on Spotify to adopt policies to prevent the spread of misinformation on their platform. Rogan attracts 11 million users per episode, while Young brings in 6 million users per month. Neil Young is a huge advocate for vaccines as he suffered from polio as a child. He supports free speech but not misinformation.
But you don't look gay. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me just...
Now liberals are saying that music is political. Whatever. I'm gonna go listen to my favorite rapper now.
All's my life I has to fight.
To the baristas at my Starbucks, I am so sorry that I strolled in without having a mask on, even though the mask mandate was lifted and I am fully vaccinated, because you don't know me. You don't know that about me. I apologize. To the man at Starbucks who got offended when I yelled, "Oh my God, I'm not a fucking Republican. I'm so sorry. I believe in science." I'm not sorry. To my mom, who I was on the phone with, I'm sorry I said fucking.
There's no dignity inside the criminal system in the United States. There's none. I come to court every day, and I am a cog in a machine of human misery that I help churn. I work for people who are accused of crimes and are indigent, can't afford an attorney. So I represent them and I do my best. But there's no dignity or justice inside of this system. I promise. I promise you. For every one thing that maybe is good and worthwhile, tenfold the violence and destruction that this system does to individuals, to communities, to families. Just like, do you think having a person in handcuffs in a cage who is homeless, who is stealing groceries from a store, who is stealing because they have nothing and because they live on the street, do you think that's just?
How long is this going to take?
The other day I posted about how I was on a date and a man said to me, "Do you feel safe?" on the date while we were messing around, just to check in. And the comments that I have gotten on that post are so upsetting, and they are so indicative of the world that we live in now and how problematic it is. Half of the comments said something like this: "He's a keeper. Lock him down. You should marry him." And while I completely love the enthusiasm of my sisters out there saying like, "That's great, you had a good time," it is so sad that for us, it is so rare that a man would say, "Hey, are you feeling safe right now?" in a situation where he knew I had trauma. So it seems like it would make sense for him to say that, and in the post I talked about that, and yet we still found it shocking. And I did as well. I almost cried. And a lot of women said they would have cried. That's how unusual it is. Is our bar so low right now that a man just has to not be as salty and we're like, let's marry that guy? That's our bar? We've got to change our bar. And the second thing is that a lot of women said things like this: "He's crazy. He's a sociopath. I wouldn't trust it." And I want the men to really think about this. You can say, oh, it's because those women are untrusting, but there is one variable in here that's not changing, and that is that these women are all different. But men that they are dating are consistently making them feel so unsafe, that they feel like if somebody checked in with me to see if I was okay, they definitely are bullshitting me. They are there to hurt me. And only people who have been hurt repeatedly, over and over and over again, are in that place, or they know someone who was. So that's the world women are living in. If you're a man, I want you to understand this. That's our world.
So please, parents, let's raise our boys to talk about consent, and men, talk to other men about this. If you're shocked by this post, don't just be shocked. Talk to other men. Tell them what women are going through. And women, we have got to raise our bar. I think we should all go on strike. We should not go on a single date until we all promise each other that we are not going to say, you know what, he wasn't assaulty, so I'm going to lock him down. Men need to say, I know your worth. I honor that you know your worth. I think you're amazing. I want to be your partner. And you are somebody who is exceptional, and I want to spend time with you. Not just, hey, I just want to make sure I'm not scaring the crap out of you. That's not okay. That's not okay.
Fuck. Hey, do it actually, fuck.
Grandpa, have you seen Terrio?
Ooh, kill him! Ooh, kill him!
Bro, what the hell is even this, man? Enlist today? Hey, yo!